We're in St. Louis. It's been a long day on yesterday, St. Louis. I know I hadn't been on the air in a while, St. Louis, but I'm coming on now. St. Louis, I haven't done my best. And it wasn't yet good enough, St. Louis. But we got work to do, and we're going to get it done. No question about it. I'm determined to get it done. And the reason I say that, St. Louis, you're too important to me. I want to believe that when you begin to understand how life truly is, you begin to look at the world from a different perspective. And you're willing to say all or nothing in this season. We're going to go to school today just for a moment. I'm not going to stay very long. I got some things I got to take care of this morning, of course. We have to begin to understand that we've not yet come to the truth. And the reason we have not yet come to the truth, I believe, is because the body, as you know, the body and the mind are somewhat separate, as we believe. So therefore, that tells me if the body gets disease, that means the mind hasn't been able to regulate the body to keep the body from getting a disease. But what we don't really understand, I don't believe, is that it's much deeper than we can perceive. I believe that the mind hasn't reached its full manifestation to regulate the body to be able to break free from space and time, 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. In other words, all are given a life expectancy. But if you think about it, back in the early 1800s or so, the life expectancy was a lot shorter. Could have been 40, 50 years. And in some undeveloped countries, it's lower than that. And the reason it's lower than that is because they don't have the ability to slow down the body from fully decaying. So as a result of slowing down the body from fully decaying, they must be doing something to the mind, because the mind is the regulator. However, what we must begin to understand, the mind itself is regulating, but it can only regulate 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, because it has not the power to reverse the laws of thermodynamics, entropy, increase, chaos, and disorder. So as a result, I believe that we all have been living in a false perception of reality. However, the reality appears to be our reality based upon the fact that we only can see the world darkly. In other words, it's a distorted view because we're operating in space and time, and we haven't yet reached 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th dimension. And you're asking yourself, where are these dimensions? They're curled up in space and time. They're very small, down to the Planck constant 10 to the negative 33 centimeter, probably lower than that. But that's based upon man's ability to be able to think they understand truth, but they have not the ability to understand nothing. But they don't know they don't understand nothing because they have not yet reached the truth to understand, to be able to evaluate what they knew. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that we have the ability to reach a higher level of regulation of the mind that would literally cause 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time to be warped. In other words, it's like you're trapped inside of a membrane of vibration in which you cannot leave based upon the fact you have not the power to leave. It's like being in prison, but you don't know it's prison because you've never lived outside the place in which you currently call home. So as a result, everything that you thought was true was established in that membrane or that place you call home, from religion to jobs to hospitals to pharmaceutical companies to police departments to federal agencies to different countries to baseball, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Everything was placed within that prison. And the prison has become your home because of 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. How has the solar system been built into prison? We got 8 planets. The furthest planet is Neptune. Earth is number 3. Everyone realizes that the Earth itself is moving at 1,000 miles an hour. All realize that in order to reach space, you have to reach a tremendous amount of speed. They say 7 miles per second, roughly 125 to 30 miles an hour. But yet the human mind is so slow and primitive, it can't perceive beyond where it dwells. So that tells me that we built a false perception of reality, but that became our reality because we can't think beyond the 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. So we became mean and nasty and arrogant. And the reason we are mean and nasty and arrogant is because we're illiterate. We hadn't reached the knowledge, the brain power to break free. In other words, when you reach a certain level of intellect, you have the ability to reach a level to when you were working at seconds, meaning 60 seconds equal a minute, 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You operating at an attosecond, 1/1,000,000th of a billionth of a second, 186,000 miles per second at the speed of light, which is 300,000 kilometers. We unfortunately are in trouble. It doesn't appear to be trouble because, like I said, you can't see beyond the veil that's covering your eyes, the scales. We must begin to realize that the pastors, the apostles, the bishops, they don't know the truth. They only know the truth within the plasma, which is not the truth, but it's the truth to them because they can't go beyond the level of their mind because their bodies decay, and subsequently tells me the mind is dying. That's why it says the universe is expanding. They don't know why. They're trying to figure out where is the antimatter. And matter they see, but they don't see the antimatter. The antimatter is us literally being able to annihilate matter and subsequently bring in space, which is heaven, down to earth. We are in trouble. It's not that you don't want to know the truth, it's that you have not the ability to know until you exponentially begin to grow 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and process the data and the information all around you, and subsequently you become forming the fabric of space and time. I'm trying St. Louis, in order for us to get rid of and eradicate darkness, which is sound and negative information, we have to reach a higher level of awareness. In order to reach that level of awareness, we must reach a deeper level of understanding. In order to reach a deeper level of understanding, we must begin to see with new eyes and hear with new ears. Until then, the nursing home is waiting, graveyard's waiting. But the devil is a liar. We're going to get this in our generation because I refuse to quit. I refuse to quit. I won't quit. Shout out to my grandbaby, Noah. Noah's now in Florida. Granddaddy going to see you a little later on, son. Shout out to Winton. Stay strong, son. Stay strong. Shout out to Catherine. Stay strong, girl. Keep grinding. Shout out to Zion. My grandbaby now. Gabe, Walter, and Danielle. Until next time, remember, I got a little something going on, so I'm not able to get on the air as much. But remember, I love you. Until next time, we win. God bless.